3, 2, 1.
Wakanda forever!
All right, guys, super excited. You see the shirts, with the exception of these two. They didn't get the memo. This is the New Release Wednesdays, the New Review, and we're just gonna gush, everything about the Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman, Danae Guerrera, Lupita Nyong'o, Angela Bassett, Michael B. Jordan. Of course, Michael B. Jordan.
Pronunciation.
We can't forget him.
I'm trying to get all the actors in because they're just amazing. Winston Duke.
Forrest Whitaker.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Yeah. We got to get the two white dudes in. We got to do it.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Amazing cast.
But they're New Zealand, so that's okay.
Well, actually, one is British.
There you go. Even better.
Yes, indeed.
But your pronunciation, that is what was amazing. You got all of that, the African names right up front.
Oh, hey.
Exactly.
Right. That's a hard feat.
That's right. So amazing cast, and then shout out to writer, director. Was he the writer on it too? Ryan Coogler.
Yes, he was co-writing.
Mm-hmm.
Creed, Fruitvale Station, and now Black Panther. This guy cannot do any wrong. But before we get into a little bit of synopsis and our review, Dean on the scene. Dean is going to tell you a little bit of what went down over the weekend on Black Panther.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Black Panther, and why haven't you? Go out there and go see it. I got some great news. Early numbers indicate that Black Panther would make between $100 million and $120 million its opening weekend. As hype and while pre-sale tickets grew, though, the humble number got nudged higher and higher, all the way up to $170 million few days before it hit the theaters.
Mm-hmm. Pre-sales.
Before it hit the theaters, yeah.
Pre-sales.
Now, after 4 days, that's right, we had a President's Day weekend. That means all of us slept late, probably seen some Black Panther 1, 2, 3, 5 times. Guess what? The real numbers are here, and I'm about to live with you right there. They have made more astronomical than prosecutors hoped for. Black Panther has made, and get this, about $235 million, and that's domestically. $404 million worldwide. It has shattered box office records. The vibranium-powered movie has the 5th highest opening for a film ever. A record that's hit within the first 3 days with a smooth $200.17 million. It's the 3rd highest gross in the history of a 4-day opening weekend, according to Box Office Mojo, and it's also the highest opening of all time for a film in February, as well as over the President's Day weekend. It has crushed with $152 million. And by the way, it's also the 2nd highest haul for a Sunday, according to Variety, pulling in $60 million. And it's etched its way into Marvel history by earning $25.2 million in Thursday night previews, making it the 2nd highest previews gross in studios history. It narrowly beat out by the Avengers, which earned 27.6. Black Panther also has the 2nd highest 3-day domestic opening haul for a Marvel film overall, edging out the Avengers 1, the first film, which made $207.4 million. I'm done.
I'm kind of going to move over. I know this isn't Black Panther, but those numbers prove to Marvel that that there is money in African American and in POC films and TV shows. I don't know if y'all saw, but just now, well, I guess now would be yesterday. On the 20th, DC, wow. See, I know my comments. Marvel just announced a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur animated television show.
What?
Like, literally just now, guys. I know it's not Black Panther, but y'all, this movie proves shit.
It
proves so much shit.
Yeah.
Yes. And not only that, people across the internet, social media around the world, declared our main girl as a new Disney princess.
Oh, Shuri.
Sure.
Yes,
Sure,
we
no,
gotta
no,
talk about Shuri.
There is no declare. She is. Like, there's,
Oh,
there's
yes.
not, we don't have to argue that. Like,
No,
there's,
you're right.
like,
And the most
she just
awesome
is.
one at that too. The other cool thing about this is it's a non-sequel movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it broke some records for like non-sequels too. That shows like original content can be interesting.
Yes.
Especially when you add in diversity, persons of colors being the leads in it. So that I thought
Definitely.
was awesome too.
So before we get into our review on it, let's talk a little bit about the story. Coming off of Captain America: Civil War, that's where we first got the entrance of Black Panther into the Marvel Universe. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Captain America: Civil War, his introduction to that? Anybody?
So what happened was in the story is that we meet the Black Panther's father, Chitagra, at this conference, and unfortunately a bomb went off and it killed his father.
By Ulysses Claw.
Ulysses Claw.
No, no,
No.
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 It was
wasn't
Claw that
Claw.
set up the bomb?
No.
Oh,
it's
so Winter
Nemo.
Winter Soldier?
Yeah,
Was
Winter Soldier.
Okay, yeah.
But Bucky
That's
did it,
right.
but he was mind controlled by Zemo.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's right,
Yeah.
You're about to take my
Spoiler
Marvel
alert.
card.
Yeah,
I know,
spoiler
right?
alert.
What you doing?
I
Look at
know.
this shirt.
Hold
What you
on.
doing?
But we had the Claw introduction in that. We had Claw and
No.
Panther introduced in that.
No.
Oh,
Claw
no,
was
but-
introducing
Avengers: Age of
Avengers
Ultron.
Ultron.
Look
My
at the guy
Marvel
right
card
here.
is going. I know. He's in the non-comic guy.
Don't you do that to my Black Panther. I know where it's now. Don't you do that to me now. I know where it's from now.
Okay. I got you.
Who shows it? Who shows it?
I just wanted to make sure we giving that to him.
Make sure I'm right.
So in case they missed out.
No,
Because
no.
if they
No,
just
no,
saw
no.
Black Panther movie, I want them to know what happened in Civil War, so they go cop that and they go check that out, as well as check
And
out
Age of
Age of
Ultron.
Ultron.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Here's
Almost missed that
So
one.
I had a friend that I was trying to show these movies to, so I was like, "Oh, get prepared for Black Panther."
Okay.
And then it was like, "Oh, well, you actually got to go back to this, and then you got to go back and see this." So it's woven into.
You gotta
the
spend that
You
money.
already know.
Yeah.
So you did. Okay.
It is a Marvel movie.
It's
I
all
heard
about
some.
the mouse and the money.
Yeah. But I heard some there were some people like, "Oh, it's not really a Marvel. I didn't see the Marvel in it." And I was like, "But the whole beginning, it's in Age of Ultron. It's in Civil War. It's
Yes.
part of the universe."
So we need to rewind back to Age of Ultron because that dropped before Civil War, right?
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So Age of Ultron, we get Claw. He's stealing stuff. That's where we first learn about the Claw character.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
And Vibranium.
Yeah.
Oh, and Vibranium. Okay. Oh, well, actually, no. Vibranium should go back all the way to the beginning with the shield because we learn in Iron Man that
That's what it
the
was.
shield is made out of vibranium.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's woven all.
Yeah.
But Civil War is probably the better introduction because that's what gave us Panther to lead into Panther. So
Sure.
you can finish up with Civil War.
But you don't need to watch those.
You don't.
really.
You don't.
need
But
to
No,
watch
no,
it.
no, no, no.
people want to digest that. And
It
get a
was
little
a
bit more.
standalone.
Yeah, that's
Because I know
what's-
everybody's hungry for it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my friend. You don't have to watch all the other Marvel films. Just take a peek at this, peek at that, and you're good for Black Panther for the rest of the time.
I'm going to disagree with you, all
Really?
of you on that. You should
Seriously?
always see comic book movies. You should always see comic book movies.
Okay.
You'll
Yeah.
appreciate it.
When they're done right. Justice League.
He said it.
Yep.
I said that.
No one will-
Come on.
There it is.
I'm sorry.
I think we gave the fans a bit of a taste of before Black Panther. Let's go into Black Panther, you know.
Okay, so Black Panther, it opens up with Najobu, played by the amazing Sterling K. Brown that you know from This Is Us.
No, don't.
No.
You shouldn't just give that up, man.
Why?
No. That is a spoiler.
I'm an
Actually.
actor.
That's a huge spoiler.
Okay, this is spoiler. I'm sorry, I forgot this is all spoiler. Go ahead.
You've already seen it. These people should have already seen this review. Spoilers or whatever.
Spoiler.
It opens, actually, even before that, it opens up with an amazing backdrop of getting the history of Wakanda.
You learn the history in that really
And
fun.
if you didn't
Guardians of the
notice,
Galaxy kind of-
actually, before it goes to the Oakland, that history being said by, being told, the narrator is Najobu. Think about that when we go into the rest of the film. It's Najobu actually talking about Wakanda, and he's actually telling it to Eric, but you don't hear Eric's voice, young Eric. But
You do hear it. Because he's like, well, why are we still hiding, Dad?
But the thing is,
in that opening,
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, I
He's
missed
like,
that.
yeah. And then he's,
But
I
that
need to
just
see it
hits
like
you
5
deeper
more
when we
times.
talk about the rest of
I
the
need
film.
to see this like 5 more times
Yeah.
to
I'm telling you.
really get everything.
It's
So-
a little heartbreaking too, if because like we were really
Yeah.
into the
Yeah,
film.
that's
So we learn the history of Wakanda, then it goes into Oakland, and we have Najobu and Zuri in Oakland getting
about
ready
to put in work.
about to put in
About
work,
to put
son.
in that work.
About to put in that work. When all of a sudden T'Chaka flies in.
No.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
The
Age of
Dora
Ultron.
Milaje.
Oh, the dorm. Oh, yeah.
They knock on the. You got it because that entrance was really
what did they
impactful.
say? It's these two.
Grace Jones sisters. Grace Jones sisters outside, bro. What we gonna do, bro?
and then he's like, yo, it's these Grace Jones looking chicks. He's like, should I open it? They ain't gonna knock again.
Yes.
Yeah, and the thing is, I kind of didn't want him to open the door because I wanted to be like,
happens?
destroy it.
Yes.
Destroy the door, ladies. Do it.
We shouldn't give away the whole thing, though.
No,
So,
We're going to do it
I
scene
thought
by
that's
scene.
what was going to happen. I was like, oh, I get to.
Yeah.
I was like, I get to watch it again.
hey, I bet you can make this rock. So
Spoiler!
Chuck comes in.
Spoiler, someone dies.
The Jobu dies, but that's basically how the story kind of kicks off. It gets rolling. We have a secret that's kept from everyone from the past, and T'Challa finds out. Well, because we're now dealing with the ramifications of Civil War, T'Challa's now getting the mantle. He has to fight M'Baku of the Jabari tribe.
It's
Is the on for delicious? Is that why you're?
there's some
M'Baku. I've seen y'all
going
too.
on.
Ladies are going crazy over Winston Duke. Winston Duke, you got to get a lot of play, bro.
Yeah.
M'Baku.
have you seen the picture of
Oh, I've
him
seen it.
where it's the one with him before and
He's a
after?
good-looking brother. He's a
He's
good-looking
a
brother.
good-looking guy, but that beard, it did something to him.
I'm not gonna lie. When they all came out from the cave, I was like, yo, I need to get back in the gym. That's how I
Oh,
get
yo.
in the gym.
Yo, that was dope. So, Black Panther fights M'Baku for the title of King of Wakanda of Black Panther. He gets it, and then that moves the story forward into him
actual
trying
plot.
to go after Claw, because now they know where Claw is. He's got vibranium.
Can I
Go ahead.
pause for a second and actually do some review? Are we cool with that?
Yeah.
I get the chance. I get to watch the movie again.
It
We're
is.
going to hit pause.
Okay.
Pause.
Yep.
I'm just going to say this because Andy Serkis is a fantastic method actor.
Love Andy.
This movie was about African nation, about the African peoples, but God damn did Andy Serkis steal the show when he was on set.
Yes,
God,
he made it
was just-
rain.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was.
He had fun with that
Oh,
role. And
yes.
you can
Hey,
tell.
when you've been King Kong, when you've been you can have fun with your role.
Yeah, because that brother's always been CGI'd out, man.
You're
And
right.
He's such a fascinating
Not all the
actor.
time.
Yeah,
Not all the
one
time.
or
But
two.
the main roles, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the few roles I really liked him when he's not CGI was 13 going on 30. Which was amazing.
That is a pull right there.
He's a film guy.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interject, but there were certain scenes where I'm just like, oh my gosh, Andy Serkis is having way too much fun, and I want to have all the fun with him. It was so good.
I wonder whose idea was it, not to get the case for the vibranium, because I thought that was.
Yes!
I was like, that is awesome, because why not save yourself some money? Why doesn't everyone do that type of thing?
That was gold. I love that.
No one's putting their hand down there unless you really want it.
Oh, that was so good.
Vibranium is expensive though, so
Dude,
you
it's
might-
true. And you know what? I'm not a guy, so I don't know personally, but y'all keep it pretty protected too.
Yeah.
So you
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh
You're
man.
trying to tell us you're a commando?
New release Wednesday.
That's how we do.
Oh man.
the casino scene was I loved every second. I could watch 45 minutes of that casino scene.
It was poetry in motion. I mean, from the way they got the characters in there to, what can we say, Stan Lee cameo.
Oh, I was curious how that cameo was going to go down. That was a
Yes.
good place to put it.
I'm just gonna
Very good
take
place.
these. You know what? To be fair, Stan, we would too. So
Yes.
Well, he did do that to Kirby, so.
That also
That
shows.
is King Kirby. We love you. We
We'll never
apologize for everything. Also, when
Love you
they
too,
fi-
Sam.
Well, but let's put it this way: it was King Kirby who, when they were like, Black Panther is too black, you need to add some white guys, so he made Black Panther beat up the KKK. King Kirby,
Hey.
we love you.
Yes.
Yes,
There
we
you
do.
go.
Respect.
Saw an amazing tweet from the Kirby family. Did you see that?
The new baby Kirby.
Showed love to what they did. It was awesome. That was really sweet. That casino scene.
All right,
I'm going back to the storyline.
The movie storyline. This is gonna be a
DVR
2 hour.
So T'Challa, Nakia, and Okoye are going after Claw. unsuccessful. So they head back, and Mbakwe,
No.
played by.
Not yet.
Hold on, what am I missing?
They
I'm trying to
were
fast forward without giving away
successful.
too much. They weren't
They were
successful in getting
successful
claw.
in getting
Oh,
They
stop
did
the claw. Oh, yeah, that's right.
They
Okay,
did
I'm sorry.
claw.
They
did
did
claw.
get when they.
All right,
You
but they
really
didn't-
don't know if they got the medal back, but
Yeah, you don't know if you got the vibranium.
Okay.
But they were after Claw. That was the whole reason.
They captured Claw, but they lost Claw because Killmonger breaks out Claw. That's what I over.
Yeah.
also
Okay.
I was
also
fast forwarding too much.
also Shuri and those
my
freaking
gosh.
tech. Oh my god, girl.
Mm.
And okay, we'll
Letitia
go.
Wright, I forgot to mention her earlier. That
Yeah,
she's the actress that played Shuri. Scene stealer in a lot of her scenes. Amazing.
It's amazing how many scene stealers there were in
They
this
all
movie.
played their part, man.
Because everyone, like Angela Bassett, I felt like even she stole her scenes.
Oh.
When she was in there, she was super powerful as like the Queen Mother.
I would not fight her. Like I would be yes, Queen Mother, yes, dear.
Have you
Everything
seen
you
her
said.
IG? That girl.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
59.
Yeah.
Killing it.
I'm sorry,
59.
Angela. I did not mean to put that out
Yeah.
there.
No,
but it's on
That
IMDb.
woman, it's her and what's her face from Spider-Man.
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa, yes.
That woman does not look like she's
None-
in her 50s.
Neither of them are aging.
Nuh-uh.
Fountain of Youth.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
I'm feeling like I'm making up for my lack of comic book knowledge with
I
the
don't
movie
know
knowledge.
actors, I know comic books.
I love when Rebecca's like, no, wait,
Hold.
That's two scenes ahead of us.
Okay.
But I have to admit that one of the best things I like about the film was every person in the cast had a moment.
Yes.
That's what really sold it for me. It's like no matter what Martin Freeman does, or Dania does, or Letitia does, or Chadwick does, every person had their moments, and that's like that made the film a lot better. It's the standout Marvel film. It's like the best film of Marvel all the time. I have to tell.
And
From my personal perspective.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but to your point, I think that's why it's so impactful because Ryan Coogler, what he's done is made a great, like a classic movie. All the pieces are tied together. All the pieces are important. Even things that you think about in the beginning, like we talked about, like the setup and everything, things that you think are usually throwaways in movies. Oh, it's just some kids playing, those things are actually important and pivotal to the actual plot moving the movie forward. So yeah, to your point, that's just
I
kudos.
This is also something really, really benign and really silly, but one thing that I did love in that vein, Shuri was a teenager, and they let her be a freaking teenager.
Yes,
And that
yes.
just totally, like, kids, y'all can do that. Y'all can. And, like, I love the fact that they let a teenager, she was flipping the bird. I know that I still do that, but it's one of those where it's like, you let a teenager have those puns, you let a teenager talk the way that she wants to talk, and you can see it.
Yes.
Like, I love that they let her be a teenager.
I love that, and I just think there's so much of that in terms of like being a teenager. Also in terms of like the women letting them do what they do.
Yeah.
People of color letting them just live how they like. There's so much in the movie of that. Like we're just talking about the movie right now, but then the layer because it's layered. It's layered.
Do we want to
bro.
get there?
It's
Let me fast forward.
I'm
So-
sorry.
so-
That's right.
I want to know what happens at the end, Patrick.
Joe is waiting for me to finish it up.
Yes,
Waiting.
So Claw gets broken out by Killmonger.
Wait, this isn't the end.
Yeah, this is gonna be a while, folks.
Killmonger
We don't have to go there.
Killmonger kills Claw in order to prove to Mbakwe, played by the amazing Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out, to get into Wakanda. And then Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, goes against T'Challa for the title, which Killmonger then gets.
in a great scene.
And an
where he
amazing
goes
scene
into
on the
throne
Warrior
room.
Falls.
Yes.
Random super fast tangent. Did you see the really fun meme of what all the dots actually were? It's the Legos. Did you see that? It was great. Michael B. Jordan, you are one of my favorite people in general. But when there was
So it wasn't with the lives that he took, it's actually
there was a whole
Legos.
bunch of Lego dots. It wasn't actually like he was getting scarred. It was kind of funny.
That was dope.
Nice.
So they're now kind of taking out. They're taking out. When Killmonger takes over, Okoye stays with the throne, so she stays with them. Ramonda and Shuri and Nakia leave out to because Killmonger's taking over.
And
Thankfully enough,
and they take the what does she call him? They take the
heart-shaped herb
Well, he goes down
to get because
the heart-shaped herb. He goes down to get the powers, to get imbued with the powers of the Black Panther.
Well, no, I wasn't gonna get. I was gonna say they also took the colonizer with them.
Oh yeah, the
Guys, God, sure, I love you so
I love those
much.
things.
Oh my
They're
God.
so good.
Well, because he for sure would have not survived a Killmonger regime.
Oh, for real.
No,
Especially
I just,
considering he worked for the CIA, he was a killer.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like-
he would
it's like,
have.
I know this guy. So, oh yeah, I know this guy. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
that was just one of those. You could feel all the like white tension in the room. It was like, oh shit! And I was just like, oh, she called it. Like, there's we can't do anything about that.
In our screening, there were snaps when she called him.
Oh, I know.
Oh, there was a couple of claps, but you definitely saw people going.
The audience helped too with the screenings we've seen in.
Yeah.
So they leave out. The Jabari tribe actually saves T'Challa's body from the Warrior Falls, keeps him in ice, and then they crush up the herb and bring T'Challa back. Then we go into our ending, but if you've seen it, we'll go there because I didn't want to spoil anything. I know we might get our reviews. Whatever. I know.
You can't watch. You
I'm
can't watch,
talking too much.
you can't watch a movie on 16x. Come on, man.
I know, and then shut it off at the end.
Yeah.
Well, let's not spoil it again.
We're almost done.
All I'm gonna do is gush over it.
You're like,
So-
wait, is that Bucky at the end? Wait a minute.
Oh my goodness.
we told a little bit about the story. Let's go into like how we felt about it, man.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
One of the best movies I've seen in a long time. I said moments ago, the ensemble cast, everyone has their moment. Ryan Coogler knocked it out of the ballpark and completely destroyed the Hollywood belief that no African American superhero is going to dominate this Hollywood scene.
Blade.
And they did it
Blade.
in 4 days. Not alone 1 day, not alone pre-sales. So Hollywood, lesson learned. Don't doubt us again. Wonder Woman did it last year. Black Panther did it this year. And guess what? There's going to be more films to come. So don't count us out this time. So solid grade, A+. Love the film. See it a second time. And I'm probably going to see it maybe 50 different more times.
It's a good repeat film.
Yes,
is a good repeat
it
film.
is.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
Well, so everyone knows I have a job on this show. You already know what my name is. It's Honest Joe.
Honest Joe.
Honest Joe is going to
Roll up
lay
the-
down
was
his
about to say.
honest opinion.
Give it to me, Joe.
So, I enjoyed the movie,
Okay.
but I gotta be honest with you.
All right.
Okay.
I felt like it's formulaic a little bit. Not a little bit.
No,
Not a little bit. But I felt like when I was watching this and I had a checklist and I was like, oh, you did that right. Oh, you did that right. That's why people are gonna love it. Because you know how to fan serve. You know how to fan serve.
There's
And
some
people are
fan
gonna love it.
service.
People are gonna love it. It's like, oh, look, I remember the end of Iron Man 1 as well. When we have a suit and you have another suit.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to the end of Black Panther? We have a suit, we got another suit.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, if you
True.
think about it, this is very close to the structure of Iron Man,
True.
except the rebound and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yet that was still there. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But at this point in the game, if you've seen all these movies, you start to pick up on it a little bit. It doesn't mean it's
Definitely,
not enjoyable.
Yeah.
But that's why the characters are what made it stand out.
Yes.
You know, that he was right. When everyone has their moment, it gives you a well-balanced film. Because you're like, wow, nothing was wasted. Was there something wasted? I don't know. Maybe I wanted to see the actual game the kids were playing in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's called basketball.
Yeah.
It's called
How does that
basketball.
game end up turn out?
James Naismith, Benny
Yeah,
Kane,
yeah.
Michael Jordan dominated somehow.
And the chubby kid ended up being Shaq.
And yes,
You know that's true. You know it.
what's
know if you're
the
from
Shaq
Oakland.
movie? Was it
Shazam?
Kazam.
Kazam. Kazam?
Yeah.
Or Steel? You turned into Steel.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
jeez. Oh, my gosh.
not going there.
Let's not talk about those.
No,
Yeah, we're
I-
not going to
I
talk
really-
about the next film he's going to be in. Oh, my gosh.
I really enjoyed the movie. It was great. You know, I mean, but there's a certain point now where you've seen enough where I'm like, you can sort of sense what's happening, but you know how good it still is.
Yeah.
Because like the characters are amazing, and everyone had like their moments, and everyone had their verbal strong moments. Also, like Chad just being quiet and strong is pretty amazing. I feel like that's also a good king. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to over talk.
Yeah.
And that to me is what makes a good balance. It's like everyone has their verbal cues, but then he can just like he doesn't really have he just has to act. He
Yeah.
just has to be cool. Because there's that moment where I'm like, okay, now he's gonna lose. If you're gonna introduce a challenge in the beginning, I'm like, okay, he's gonna win it, or we're only halfway through this movie. He's gonna lose it at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, who's he gonna lose it? Okay, it's gonna be. Actually, the one of the biggest surprises to me is how we already jobbed out Claw.
Oh, I know.
I was like,
yeah.
at that moment, I was like, oh shit, it's on. They're gonna pull. They're gonna go. They're gonna go all out because for him to, you don't even see him in Wakanda at all.
Yeah.
And like I was like, that's
Yeah.
freaking awesome. He never even made it there in this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good like.
I thought we were going to see him in the second film. I thought.
Yeah.
we
Well,
were
I
gonna
think
get
that
more
was the
Claw.
rumor, is that he wasn't actually in this film all that much, but that's because we were going to see him in future film. We ain't gonna see him in
You
future
might
film.
not see this rendition of Claw, because as I understand it, the actual Claw from the comic books was like a being of pure sound. And there could be some type of, because you don't know what's going to happen after he's died, like what they do with the body or what type of ritual they have for the body of someone who killed someone of their tribe. But that's getting it. One of my friends who knows the comics was telling me about it. Hey, thanks, Scott, for that little bit of information, buddy. Appreciate it. But so now it's
I am
part.
not
Anyway,
side-eyeing that.
But to me, when Claw was jobbed out, I was like, okay, now we're going into risk-taking territory.
Yeah.
Because that's the expected. That's the expected like big bad to carry over at the end.
Yeah.
So now we're like, no, this guy's more powerful. So I thought that was a cool surprise.
Yeah.
For opening up. It was mainly like, okay, you take the stage. What's Johnny Flame? You take the.
Michael B. Jordan.
Creed.
Okay, speaking of memes, did you see the other great meme that you always say you have to be Johnny to get a better role in Marvel? Because
yes.
there's a few Johnnies who have gotten much better roles in Marvel.
Yeah.
So tip, if you want to be famous, be Johnny Storm.
Take that Fantastic Four role.
Do it.
It leads to other things.
Be bigger and better.
But looking at this movie, like you just see the package of everything in this movie is what's cool today. It's like you have the espionage of like Skyfall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at that moment, that's what I thought of when they were in the casino. I was like, dude, they're freaking doing Skyfall right now. They're gonna do an escape. And I was like, that's what happened.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of like there's like just everything that's cool in here. And that's why people are gonna love it.
Yeah.
How can you not? You have the formula. How do you fuck this up, guys? You don't. They did not. But like if you think about it, there was a lot to lose. So they had to make this.
But it's also not overthinking it. It's like you have the formula. You
just do it. Yeah, just do it right, man.
Yeah.
Just make it
the
cool.
KISS method. Right?
Yeah, don't it's like you know how to do it right, you know?
Don't worry, we're not safe for work.
Yeah.
We're not safe
Okay.
for work. You can fucking cuss all you want.
Oh, all right.
Like even when they were looking out the window and they're like, oh, you saw the train, and they're like, this is when I forget what it is, but like you can turn off and on the power of the
Vibranium.
Oh,
vibranium.
yeah.
I was like,
The
that's where the
magnets.
battle's gonna take place,
The
guys.
magnets.
And then
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw that. Well, why
You called
introduce it if you're not gonna do it? That's why the Claw, when Claw ends, when you introduce him and he gets killed off, that's why that was surprising to me. But everything else, I was like, okay, they used it.
It played a formula.
They played it.
Yeah.
And hey, the formula works, man.
Yeah, of course.
Pizza tastes good because you got cheese, tomato. You don't change that up.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's why they make
And put
margarita
on
pizza
pineapples.
just in case. If you
I
want something
love
different.
margarita pizza, by the way.
That's why they do that. You
Tomato,
would do
basil,
something different.
basil. There was some good basil in this movie, though. That's what this had some good basil.
You're
This had
making me
damn
hungry.
good
ham and
basil.
pineapple.
Pizza afterwards.
Like when Killmonger goes into his afterworld thought, and they go into just
the
this
astral.
Yeah,
That
I was like,
so
that was.
sad. Oh my god, I cried so
I thought
hard.
that
at
was
scene.
awesome.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
And I'm trying
So
so hard
tears.
to get Killmonger's haircut. Come on.
Well, you know, he's one of the two wigs. That was one of the two moments where they used wigs, because everything else was natural hair, and that's
So
like,
I can buy that.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta do that
I
haircut
think
next.
you can rock it out. I think you can rock it
Well,
out.
first you have to grow out the dreads, and then you have to, then you got to figure that out.
Dude,
first.
he was in shape. He was in
Yeah.
shape.
Oh my
Yeah.
He
god.
was in shape. He
It
was
makes
in
me
shape.
want to get
Had me questioning
Yes.
my sexuality.
Yes,
Like, you had that
he
V
was.
cut. You know when you're like, you gotta have that V cut. You know, you gotta get
Bruh.
that
Michael B.
means no
Jordan.
pizza.
Michael B. Jordan. Yes, yes, sir.
It's like,
was in
damn,
pretty-
bro, you
everyone
need a
was-
spotter?
Everyone was in good shape. Everyone was in good shape, right?
No,
They knew this was a big
everyone
movie.
looked
Yeah.
fantastic, and the thing is, it wasn't like overly like, you know how some movies where it's like they're overly thin and it's like
Oh,
they
yeah.
look these were like normal body types. It was
Yep.
I mean, everyone was just, they look normal, like
Yeah.
they look human.
Yeah.
You know what's one of my favorite action moments? I forget. It was in the chase scene where I forget who did. Someone threw the spear.
Okoye.
And it went
Okoye.
through the car and
Yeah.
then stopped in front. And they stopped on the car. I was
Yeah,
like, damn,
like
that's
that.
creative.
Yeah.
That's
We
We
creative
really
right
need
there.
that medal so
I was
hard.
like, that's
we
amazing.
really need that medal.
Yeah.
Because first you're like, oh, they missed. Oh no, she didn't.
But
No, she didn't.
just the look of
never
like,
miss.
I'm about to get
Yeah.
these. Like,
Because let's be honest, we've
Yeah.
seen superheroes in masks jump on cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I saw Spider. Everyone,
Yeah.
when they're so, I don't know, everyone jumped on cars. But to see that was cool.
Well, the ending, how they came out of that was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, blasted.
That was great.
so I will say this. I feel you, because when I saw the preview or the trailer for this, and I saw Michael B. Jordan going into the Golden Jaguar, I guess, suit, or the Black Panther or whatever, I was like, they're doing it again, like same powers, same for the superhero versus.
Here comes Venom vs. Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was nervous on that too.
I just feel like it, because it came last, like it was actually useful, like it was purposeful in this movie. Yeah. Like Iron Man, it's like
did they do that in every Iron Man?
I think just about just about.
Just about. In the second one.
No, the second one was Whiplash.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Whiplash came out with this.
No one thinks about the second.
So it's like
we try really hard to forget about the second one.
Yeah. But I feel like this, because he was challenging for the mantle of Black Panther. Yeah. Like it makes sense.
The formula makes
sense in this case. But I feel like in some of the other ones, it's like, well, you didn't really have to have you know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to have the exact same powers in the suit that you have, because then it gets a little bit too cliche or formulaic, like you're saying. But I feel like in this one, it was like, that actually makes sense.
The formula works. The formula works, you know?
And it worked.
It was good. It tastes good, man.
It tastes delicious. That basil.
We need to just next time we're having pizza when we're doing it.
Yes. Which, by the way, any sponsors want to, come throw pizza our way, right? We will shout you out.
I will say, I saw it at the Alamo Draft House, and they have a special menu that's inspired by Black Panther.
Oh, they do the themes.
It is.
Yeah.
You want to know what's really sad? AMC, sponsor us, yes, but when I'm actually disappointed, y'all do movies, like specialty movie drinks at your bars for the Marvel films, and y'all didn't have one this time, and I was actually deeply disappointed. I have a bartender there. I have a bartender there.
Oh,
no, it's one of the guys who he's in college. He's a really nice guy, and he works there specifically for the big events. He'll make fun drinks when they don't have one. But I was like, for this Marvel film, which is gonna, and they were anticipating this was gonna be one of the biggest ones. Y'all didn't have a drink. I was kind of
what would it be?
I don't care. I just want a drink.
Here, it's black.
Something
No, I mean purple. I would have seen a purple.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't mix drink. I make coffee.
So Hennessy and grenadine or something.
Potentially.
Back onto Black Panther.
Okay, sorry.
Back on schedule.
Killmonger. I was all about Killmonger.
I did. So here's what I'll talk about. I'll try to keep it simple. I will just go with maybe one or two of the layers, because I felt like this was a multi-layered film, and I feel like some people may have missed some of the layers that were in this film. But for me, I was just amazed that Ryan Coogler and the entire cast was allowed to make the statements that they made in the film, in a major tentpole Marvel film, and it worked, to great effect, and it was what's the word I'm looking for? It was
poignant,
timely. All these, keep throwing them out. All the superlatives.
They didn't hold anything back. They were 100.
That final line that Michael B. Jordan, that Killmonger said, "Oh my God, you felt that line."
And then the way he just exhaled, he was I'm almost about to tear up now. He was relieving all of that pressure on his shoulder. I can breathe. You know what I mean? This is what it's about. Just knowing my history, being able to see my history. Yeah. And then he dies this very specific way that he died. Oh my God!
Yeah. I was angry at Wakanda after that.
I'm saying Wakanda isn't as beautiful as you think when you did just the whole way around it.
I
had a deep conversation with a bunch of friends.
Oh my goodness! We could literally probably talk about this for as long as the film is, and probably more so, because there's just so much. When the film opened. And it starts out in Oakland, and they're grabbing their guns. I'm like, okay, I was like, damn, they're gonna do the whole thing, guys and guns and the street shit, and then the way that it took and how it traversed throughout the movie, where it's no, that wasn't actually what it was. And that just speaks to the fight that Black people have in this country and what they've been. It's been a lot of misunderstanding of what was actually supposed to go down, and people kind of having that preconceived notion about what the fight is, or even what the Black Panther movement was.
Yes, especially with the Rodney King verdict that happened. They show that in the film.
Oh, did they show that?
Yeah, they showed a clip of the Rodney King building beating in '92. So it's like, I just realized that it's like
Wow, I didn't.
it's
I
almost like
gotta see it again.
Bro, I'm
I
telling
gotta
you.
see it again now.
Five
I
more
gotta see it again
times.
now.
5 more times.
Yes.
But so that I thought was amazing. The last thing I'll speak on, because I could keep going forever, is the fact that the women in the film were amazing, and they had their own path, right? I heard someone say, "Oh, the women, they felt like they were just kind of side ancillary characters to T'Challa."
And that's the white characters were side characters. It was wonderful.
Yes, but that's not true, because if you think about it, Okoye, I get my African name.
I'm gonna help you out
here.
Gotcha.
Whenever I throw one, just catch it.
Okoye.
She has her past. She is for Wakanda, and you see that when Killmonger becomes king. She's like, "Sorry, this is my path. This is what I'm doing. I'm not T'Challa. You know what I mean? Like he's my boy, but I'm here for Wakanda." And her boo, when he's like, "I will kill you in a second for my spot."
Yeah.
And then you look at his sister, who wasn't just like bowing down or trying to get the throat. She had her own thing. She's like, "No, I'm over here with the technology. I'm trying to," and she had her own thing. And even his love interest in the movie, it wasn't about their love. Nakia, she was out doing her thing. Like, why are you bothered? I'm trying to get my thing done. Oh, wait, I'm here for you though when you need me. So it wasn't like a thing like they're all like characters who are just, there for the king, or they have their own life that they're going about, and they're very strong in it. I will say my gripe about Wonder Woman was I felt like Steve Trevor was constantly saying, "Watch out, Wonder Woman! Watch out!" And I was like, "This is Wonder Woman. Stop doing that. Stop touching her. Stop touching her."
But if you think about it, it was the time of men back in
Silent Times. Yeah.
This is true.
So
this is true. I mean, I feel like
he played that role pretty well.
It worked for that.
It worked for that time frame. But with this movie, it's like all bets are off. These women have to be strong. They got to be perfect. They're on their own path. And they killed it.
And this is, if you break it down, this society was about equality, right? So even when Baku, even when he came to the challenge and he was calling out Shuri,
yes,
but he didn't call her out like this little woman is trying. He was like, no, this young kid who doesn't respect our customs is running technology. Yeah. Like he didn't point to that. You know what I mean? So it's like a system. It's like a system that was very egalitarian. And I feel like it's the best that we've seen that on screen because it wasn't addressed. You didn't have to say, "Well, she's a woman and she's my general." There was none of that.
No,
there was none of that. There was no hands in feminism. I'm looking at you, Flash. That's from the TV series, but I'm sorry. That whole episode still makes me very angry. There was none of that. Where it's
it's okay.
Way to make it not cool.
Yeah, way to make it not cool. But anyways, the women killed it.
Yes.
And that was another amazing thing to see.
I want to film in that itself. Okoye, the Dora Milaje. Yeah. I want that in its own.
A Shuri film, 150% on that. We'll watch that 14 times.
All right, this is way off tangent, but I feel like this will spur an Ironheart film.
They're having conversations
because Tony Stark's going to go. And I'm like, this shows you, like, if you did it, people will come. People will watch that. Yeah. I would watch that. I would want that.
And people raising our $250 million.
Right? All right. So, anyways, I could keep going.
I mean, at this point, Marvel has a guaranteed audience, so they can really just pop it in. It's gonna happen.
We're talking about $1 billion movie right now.
Right.
It made half.
Oh, it's gonna
almost
kill.
$500 million in the first weekend.
Yeah.
And people couldn't get in to see it.
Oh yeah,
no, that's right.
I tried to go see it again.
And the actors could not get in to see it.
Yeah. So there's more layers that I could go into, but I could talk all night.
We'll probably do another episode of just
it's gonna be
it's gonna be like 3 or 4 months. We're gonna be talking about.
Talk about the political side of it, right? Like in
Make sure it's still recording, Patrick.
Don't do that.
I was gonna say do that.
We're still recording.
Okay.
Hey, part 2.
All right, sorry. I will pass it on because I can keep going.
I'm gonna skip me and go to you right now.
Okay, all right. So that's the stupid white girl is gonna say all the bad
Whatever.
things.
What? You're not white.
I'm not. No, I am. I am everything else a minority though, which sucks. So there are a couple of things. Like one, I'm Jewish and queer. Shut up.
Those things are okay now.
Exactly. They should have always been okay.
They should have always been okay. That's the unfortunate truth.
Yes.
So I'm going to start with the bads because I want to get that off my chest. So one
You
thing,
know what? I'm happy we were going to do because we didn't go anything.
You're
We've
cutting
been
her off,
gushing.
man.
Yeah.
You're cutting her off.
I'm very cut me off. I've been cutting y'all off. It's okay.
I'm thankful that you are.
So first off, you posted the other day
Yes,
that you think that it is your favorite. It is your favorite Marvel film.
it is.
So I'm going to say this. It is emotionally my favorite film. So many tears, and oh my god, all the videos of children dressed up. Oh my god, keep them coming because so many tears. But I actually don't think this was the best film. Like,
Because it's not.
it's. I still think that Winter Soldier is a better film. I think it goes just together a little bit better. Emotionally, this one hits like every and I'm not saying that it's not a great, wonderful movie. I'm just saying that when it comes to the creation of a film, it is second to me. I got number 2.
And this is all opinion.
But-
And I will say, because I was asked that, as you saw, and I was in Winter Soldier. I worked on Winter Soldier, originally called Freezer Burn when it was filming in DC. So even with me being in it, for me, the reason why Black Panther and Spider-Man are my 2 favorite superheroes of all time.
Okay.
And while the Spider-Man has been cool, to me, Homecoming was probably the closest, but then there's still a lot of problems with it. So to me, I really haven't gotten my Spider-Man yet. But Black Panther hit on all levels, and it's just for me, I can see why everybody loves Winter Soldier. I think it was a damn good film, but for me, it's entertainment value for me. Black Panther.
Civil War.
Wait, did you say Civil War?
No, Winter Soldier. Yeah, I see
Winter
Winter
So
Soldier.
You
Winter
said-
Soldier. I'm sorry. I said
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
I feel like
You
Winter
meant
Soldier
Winter
is almost
Soldier.
Winter Soldier is like almost in a different genre too.
Well, that's the thing. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, for me, I feel like Civil War, Winter Soldier, Black Panther, all in the same. No, like you said, emotionally, Black Panther is number 1.
Like, way
but
up there,
emotionally, I feel like Civil War is also up here because that moment when they find out what happened to
Tony and
I was like,
Steve.
how did?
And those are earned. Those are earned because you got to
because you
watch
got-
them to get to
Yeah.
that point.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm saying they're all
Civil
together.
War, Winter Soldier for me.
Black Panther is by far like
for
my
me.
favorite because it spoke to me, as a person of color. Like I just saw a lot of things in there that I feel like if you have grown up Black or if you have grown up African, you recognize in the film like, ooh, they put that in there. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
My
And
outlet-
call-outs, we guys, white people, we deserve those call-outs. Don't say anything. We deserve them.
We know where you live, guys.
I also think me as a filmmaker looking at Black Panther, it's a great first movie.
Yeah.
That's a great intro.
Yeah.
Because right now, like with the stuff I was talking about, the formula.
Yeah.
Number 2, they can't repeat the formula, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be what's interesting. Where are we
Yeah.
gonna go? That's the most important part for me because
Definitely.
to me, Spider-Man 2 killed Spider-Man 1. I'm talking about Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Black Panther 2, what are we gonna break now?
But what you're
Two
saying
is better
is
than the
true
first one.
because it's Coogler's first entry into
Exactly.
Yeah.
super big budget,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is a different. I feel like there's a different category of
It is.
filmmaking when you
Yeah.
get to that level because
It
there's
is.
so many
That's committee.
hands.
That's committee directing. At that
Yeah,
point.
there's so many hands. There's so many things. Like you can't say that. You can't do this.
Yeah.
You can't.
'Cause I
Well,
think-
that
you
was
know-
the biggest issue with Wonder Woman. They had the moment that
Yeah.
they took away creative rights,
Mhm.
and I'm going to say Snyder. It's not really his fault, but the moment that the DC and that Warner Brothers took in and they're like, we want the ending to be exactly like this. That's when you notice that cut off.
That's
And
why-
Wonder Woman just got really weird and rare at the end.
And that's why that's why Joss Whedon wasn't really happy about Age of Ultron. That's why we didn't have Edgar Wright do his
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man,
So
yeah.
that's what it is when
It's-
you're working
it's
under the
hard.
mouse, man.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
You're working under the mouse.
It's hard.
But the
then
fact that they were able to do that,
yeah, it says something. And this is his first.
but also
Yeah, because
They
I
can't
think
fuck-
he had like 100 to 200,000 for Fruitvale Station,
Yeah.
and to go from that to
To Creed,
200
the Creed
to
first,
yes.
which was like intermediary, which
Oh, yeah,
I think was
Creed.
probably like 13, 14
Yeah,
million
but
or something.
he had some really heavy backers on.
Yeah,
that.
on
I
that.
almost guarantee right now he's like, I can't wait to do the next Creed. So he doesn't have to
Have to
deal
deal.
with
Yeah.
so much. I mean, that's what you
Well,
got
but at the same time,
you
you already have Phage. He's already like, I wanted to do an Avengers film. He said that straight up.
Who did? The,
Phage said that about Coogler. He did.
Yeah.
But all right. So anyway, I
that's
apologize.
like 4 years.
So long.
sorry, Beck.
No, it's okay. So
God, Patrick.
I want to be. I just wanted to put like a little bit of reality in there. It's my husband who is not a super big superhero guy. He was even like, he's like, I can't really tell the difference. Sorry, I meant Winter Soldier earlier. I apologize. Yeah. Winter Soldier is definitely number one when it just comes to a movie in of itself. And then he's like, I can't tell, because he's a huge Spider-Man guy. So he's like, I can't tell if it's Spider-Man or Black Panther at number two. So there is a solid Black Panther as a film, as the number two best film. Just emotionally, like I was off on cloud nine. It didn't even matter. Other thing that the other thing is, as someone who isn't straight, the one thing that I really missed, and that has been announced, is there was no queer relationship, and there was a moment, and this is the second, and this is something that is, we were talking about, that they have the audience. This is something that is detrimental to Marvel. They keep removing, they keep erasing bisexuality. They are now erasing the lesbian aspect of it. So it's like, if you're not careful, you're going to lose a small portion. And so everything about this movie I absolutely love. The fact that I learned that just before the movie kind of broke my heart. There was a moment where there was not, apparently it was just flirting, but it's still flirting.
And as a fan of the comic book, I don't know if you read the comic book. I was looking forward to that, because I know it's in there with the Dora Milaje, even though they're the King's Royal Guards, but some of them they actually branched off in the Tunisia Coast Run, I believe. A couple of the Milaje, and I want to say Nakia's character and Okoye, I'm not sure if the two of them were lesbians in the comic book or whatever, but there was some other kind of branching off that happened, but that was part of the Dora Milaje. Beyond just being his suitors, eventually, which they have also taken away as well. They thought that'd be too weird that the Royal Guards were like his wives. Prospective wives is what some of those guards are as well. So,
But if you didn't know, does the movie still work for you?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those where it's just like everything else. It's like we were talking about Matt Damon and Suburbicon. If I hadn't learned what Matt Damon said the moment before I saw it, I would have gone to see it. So it's those small things. It's like, guys, just.
Well, that's why number two. That's gonna be that you like this movie. Number two is gonna be freaking blow your mind.
And they're already talking about it, and I want to know. Apparently, Shuri's gonna have a much bigger role in the next one. I wonder if they're going to give her a Black Panther.
And I want to add to that, she's totally night and day from the comic book. If you're not familiar with the comic book, I love the cinematic version a lot more than I do the comic book version because of the technological aspect and that she's younger and just all that. Although there's still a lot of cool remnants from the comic book in there, but it's kind of a different character.
Well, because apparently, like in the comic book, she actually does want to be
like the Panther.
But I thought that was really cool when they were doing the whole challenge or whatever. And they're like, "Who will challenge?" And then she raised her hand, and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna put that in there." And then they made it like fun and played with it to show. And I was like, "That was really
show the brother-sister dynamic."
We were talking about
because I love my sister,
and that's one of the reasons that there's a lot of statement that there's not going to be a reread that Shuri is actually going to take over the position. She's going to get some weird job with Stark. And
why would she want a job? She's a princess.
Well, it's one of those.
I'm sorry. I'm like. She has access to all the technology in the world.
She's smarter than Tony.
She is smart. They haven't asked she's smarter than Tony.
I want to see that meeting where Iron Man puts on his suit and T'Challa puts on his suit.
Avengers, man. Avengers.
Talking about memes, did you see the meme?
I can't wait to see
There's a meme
more
of her and Tony, and like she's like doing her thing, or colonizer something, same thing. And then the second part is a picture of Tony. And he's like, "Where's your mother?"
Yeah.
May 10th.
Oh man,
is that when Avengers coming out? May 10th?
3rd or 10th, something like that. Yeah, one of the.
You're gonna see that meeting that time.
It'll be but other than that, I absolutely loved it. I unfortunately only got to see it once, but I'm planning on seeing it again. But to kind of go into it, I just don't have $1 million. I'm sorry, I just don't. But if y'all haven't, please check out Black Panther Challenge, and let's get some kids. Like, part of the reason that this movie is doing so fantastically is because we want the kids out there seeing this film. So Black Panther Challenge is a GoFundMe. You can definitely go help out. Even if it's just like, I only put down like the money at like $20, which is realistically one ticket nowadays. If you can put down one ticket to get a kid out there to see the film, do it. Black Panther Challenge, or if you look it up on Twitter, # Black Panther Challenge. I think it's blackpantherchallenge.org. Do it. Help kids go see this. And guys, they are literally the cutest videos ever of them going to see this film. It's so
questions a tear?
Yeah, you know, there were girls doing a dance in uniform. And, oh my god, I was like, I'm like sitting there going, I don't want to do anything else than watch this video for like 45 minutes. That's all.
We're gonna have to do another thing because there's something else that I want to talk about, but I think that's gonna take a whole other batch of minutes. So we'll save that for another episode. We'll talk on that, and I'll just leave it with was Killmonger right?
Absolutely.
We'll save that for another discussion.
Yeah.
So before we sign off, for me, you guys pretty much said everything that I would say. Again, as a POC, as a Filipino and Filipino American, African and African Americans, I think, and you can as Filipino Americans, I think no matter what the race is, saying, you can feel that, and I think even for white people, I hope this film speaks that. No matter what race, if it was an alien cast, it talks about race without talking about race. I think why it should do so well. There's just so many good things about it. I just hope y'all see it.
Well, it talks about women without talking about women.
Oh, I know.
It does all. It does like all that.
It's everything, and that's what I was telling everybody. I can't really talk on it. I'm speechless because it's just so good to me, and it just was everything. Yeah. So hashtag everything.
Yeah. When I first walked out of the theater, I kind of walked out like, did they did everything.
Yeah.
They did the whole formula, and they put it.
And more. And just seeing the people going and people dressed up and everything.
Oh my god, the costume.
It's been beautiful.
I literally sat in, I saw the very first showing on Thursday, but we got there super early because traffic sucks. But I just sat there and people watched for like an hour and a half. Oh my god, the outfits. Gorgeous.
Yes.
And not only that, oh my gosh, the lines and the sold out crowds from Thursday to today. I mean, people are lining
Still
up.
sold out.
Still sold out. I was like, when I was trying to go see my second screening, I had to go through literally 5 different screenings to find a seat for the second screening.
Yes.
Wait, before you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Were you guys satisfied with the end title sequences? I don't know what that means.
The end title.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not gonna.
You're talking about the end scenes.
Were you guys
building up to Civil War?
Were you guys satisfied with the?
With
Yeah, we can talk.
Is that part? Is that spoiler? I don't know.
No.
Never.
We've already spoiled the
We
hell of the whole
know,
time.
we know Winter Soldier is going to be in the next film.
Yes.
What they specifically call him, I am like,
White Wolf.
White Wolf. Do y'all know who White Wolf is?
I didn't notice that part in there. They
They
called him
call
White
him
Wolf.
White Wolf.
Wait, who's white? I don't know this.
So White Wolf, because us white people are crazy and we need white people in African American and POC comics, it's what we do. It's one of those where it's so White Wolf, his character, his origin is that he was a adopted child of Wakanda, but he's a white character, so he can never be king.
Oh.
Yes. So
I don't even remember that, but now I'm knowing the.
That's why I brought it up.
Right.
Guys, I don't. My feelings for White Wolf and of himself, because he is literally the white Black Panther.
Yeah.
He was given the role because he could never be. He was T'Chaka's.
You're blown right now too, right?
It's like everywhere. I can see like the flames coming out. So T'Chaka is an adopted
You killed him.
child.
You killed him pretty much.
I did. Okay. So he is the adopted child of T'Chaka, and we have to.
Oh shit! Wow.
What I'm wondering, because they obviously aren't going to do that. Just that. Oh my gosh.
It's a Kodak moment, folks.
Wow.
Okay, so by the way, I work for a local comic shop. Go shop at your local comic book stores and talk to those.
And you can learn all about White Wolf. They'll have.
You will have this. You come in here. They don't call it amazing for nothing.
So I haven't. The problem is that like even some of the people who know the character do not. White Wolf is such a give and take character. He's been in and out. People don't care about him. So.
All right, we're gonna save this because we gotta come back with was Killmonger right or wrong for next time, because there's so much, because we have some other stuff to do. That's it. Black Panther review. Just go see it.
Go see it.
Go see it. And you'll
Spoiler
understand
review, by the way.
more.
Spoiler
Not
review.
spoilers.
Bye, y'all.
Well, it's the NOC in full color, you see me? ifs.
I am ready.
My heart don't skip a beat even when hard times bumps the needle.
Woo! Let's go!
On February 16th,
Take my pain,
the King
that I spent
arrives.
just for you. Earthquake, the body drop, the ground breaks. The poor run with smoke lungs and scar face.
Show off!
What are you talking about?
You need a hero, look in the mirror, there go your hero.
Black Panther, rated PG-13.